I'm Ashton Addison from the Crypto Coin Show, and today on Blockchain Interviews, we have back with us Solo Ceesay, the CEO of Calaxy. Solo, welcome back to the show. It is great to see you again.
Thanks, man. It's always a pleasure.
Likewise, and I've been seeing a lot of you recently in the news, all over social. Calaxy's been making some huge updates that have been taking the social media world by storm, which is very exciting. I'm going to dive into all the latest updates with you today, but I'd love to kick it off from a high level for those who aren't familiar with Calaxy so far. If you could explain a little bit about what Calaxy is, how it's reinventing social and the creator economy, and then we'll dive into all the latest details.
Yeah, absolutely. I've been on the show a few times now, so it's going to be really nice if someone can clip up my answer to that exact question throughout time because it's changed so much, but in a great way. But I think the best way to describe Galaxy nowadays is that it's a non-custodial wallet that actually does things.
Mm,
And we aim to tackle a number of industry issues, one of them being creator monetization. And so that's what we're most well known for. We allow content creators to easily take their non-custodial wallets and build a profile page, build an ecosystem around that non-custodial wallet that ultimately becomes a business for them to be able to monetize their content creation. Whereas, this week was super exciting because we actually did go on CNBC, myself and Spencer, and we were able to send USDC through our new feature, send crypto through DMs, and that will allow anybody on the platform that has a non-custodial wallet to send crypto assets very easily without the need for a public key. You just send it through the DM messenger, just like you might send a text or a photo. And so we aim to tackle, broad usage of Web3 wallets, non-custodial wallets, and really allowing on-chain activity to actually happen, and incentivizing it to happen just because there's such a big opportunity in this asset class, but the biggest problem is that there's a usability issue and that there's not too many different types of user journeys that exist. And so our job is to try and create a user journey that scales well to the next 1 billion users, not necessarily catering just to the early adopters, because the wallets of yesterday will need to transform a little bit to make sure that they're wallets tomorrow.
wow, that's a great intro, Solo. And you're right. The platform itself and the crypto ecosystem continually is evolving, and the smart companies are pivoting and they understand where this is all going. And to talk about the wallet, obviously the social and the messenger part is crucial, because what good is a wallet if it takes 47 clicks to actually send money and you got to go through
Correct.
intermediary banks through Swift that takes a week, and so really making that seamless transition where it's almost the difference between being in your wallet and being on the social platform is just like one click or just like a send DM. And
Absolutely.
from
Absolutely.
what I saw in the recent video that was on TV, it was like you're talking to your friend about pizza, and it's just like, okay, just send them the half the money for the pizza.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I think, it really goes back to the philosophy behind, our company. I founded the company with Spencer Dinwiddie of the Brooklyn Nets. Shout out Spencer. He was fantastic on CNBC. But our goal was always to make these technologies easy to use and fun to use. And so,
Mm,
for the longest time, crypto products have been usable, but useful but not really usable, right? Like there's a difference between the two, and I think we wanted to build a product that was not only usable but it was useful, and it
mm,
also was a pleasure to use. And I think those things are really important, and it's very hard to find both of those things in a product right now. And I think a lot of it really comes back to understanding what the market really wants. At MVP, we really led with the creator monetization angle. That's what we've been best known for. That's where we have a lot of interest from the content creators we work with. We have hundreds that have expressed interest and signed with Calaxy to create their own accounts and start building their own shop experiences. But upon launching an MVP, we saw an even greater need to revitalize people that are already in the world of crypto, but not really using it. If
mhm.
I can ask you, Ashton, when was the last time you used crypto to pay a friend back for a pizza? And it's probably way too long for considering you have a whole show called the Crypto Coin Show. You're big into the
Hmm.
space. I think it's almost hypocritical for all of us to call ourselves experts, but we yet to use this technology. And I think the biggest reason why is that, to send fiat, it's disturbingly easy. whereas
Hmm.
crypto is disturbingly difficult. And so I think for us, Calaxy took a big step in solving what is probably the largest usability issue within the entire industry, and analoging it to something we're already comfortable with. And I think that's going to be what really ultimately allows us to onboard that next billion users and people that are interested in using the technology, not because they care about it, but because it actually provides utility and use to them in a way that's, that hasn't been discovered in the traditional world. Yes, there are things like Venmo and Zelle that still exist. But when you get into cross-border payments, international payments, and all those different things, crypto is by far its best use case is peer-to-peer payments to date.
Hmm.
That may change, and you could argue that here or there, but I think if the wallet solution were to make itself clear, I think the that actual use would find its way, find its way through the noise.
No, it's very exciting because I feel like people are all about communication and connecting to others, and within Calaxy, from what I see, there's a big focus on that. It's not about checking your finances and just looking at your wallet. Like for example, you're not going to hang out in your PayPal application. There's no one else there to talk to,
Correct.
right? But on Calaxy,
Correct.
you have the social feed, you have memes there, videos, polls, all that kind of stuff, and your direct messenger. And then just having the payments integrated into that is, I think, the user interface and the user experience that a lot of other Web3 native companies have lacked in.
Yeah, no, absolutely. We think that, and I've talked a lot about this recently, but the we have an attention or like an attention issue nowadays, right? And I think if the world of tech, it's just far more difficult to be successful in the world of tech than it was 10 years ago. And I know I'm stating the obvious, but I think when you look at the mobile app development landscape, the average person probably had about 30 to 40 applications on their phone in the early 2010s. That number is about twice that figure today. And so, because of that, every single application that a user downloads onto their phone has to serve a level of convenience that has never been seen before. Like, if you're going to be that 81st application on the phone, you have to create, a utility that's undeniable, like, oh my God, I can't do this anywhere, or, do multiple things. And I think we're kind of trying to explore both those avenues. There's currently no easy way to send crypto from one person to another until today. So we're super excited about that with Calaxy, but then also the user experience has to, find something to draw you back to. And so that social component you talk about is so important because when you marry it to the power of a non-custodial wallet, you've created a financial instrument that's worth coming back to each and every day. But the problem is crypto wallets today don't have that same drawback to them. And then when you talk about the next 1 billion users of people who don't care about crypto, they legitimately need that in order for them to come into this environment and discover the powers of a non-custodial wallet. And so for us, we see our role as, helping onboard that next billion users. Our job is to make crypto not confusing, and our job is to find a market. And I think our solve for that is the social wallet. And, there are plenty of wallets out there. We love the wallets that, there are wallets out there that we love and we use today. But there are wallets, there is a huge gap in the market for a wallet that's doing the things that Calaxy does, to make it easy for people to use. And, your grandma can now send crypto, within 2 minutes of creating an account. Which is mind-boggling fast comparatively to the crypto world we live in yesterday.
Definitely, and I would love to send my grandma some money back on Calaxy. Let's see if I can get her to sign up. And you talk about the next billion users that don't necessarily, they're not crypto first. They just want to be on the latest social media and connect to their friends. Having the self-custodial wallet and all the finance stuff in it, it can be daunting for people that aren't tech savvy or they don't want to focus on finances and investing. They just want to use social and send money to their friends. And so I'd love to dive a little bit deeper into how can you lower those barriers even further for people that are just using social and using Messenger. There's different cryptocurrencies and there's stable coins. I'm guessing you're focusing on that. There's also different coins that they're going up and down, and there's different transaction costs for that. How do you break it down for people on the wallet to make it easy as possible to send money, to not have to think about, am I investing, am I losing money, winning money? I just want to pay my friend back for dinner.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And so I think for us, we've tried to do a good job of establishing normal primitives that people can attach to. And so stablecoins are very helpful tools in educating the next billion users on the power of crypto. It is decentralized money, but it is stable. It doesn't fluctuate like traditional cryptocurrencies do, but it is traceable on chain. And I think educating people in steps is really important because now you can do things like create things like Calaxy, where you can send effectively monies from the US to, any Denmark or, Australia or wherever it might be and around the world. That's the benefit for it. And then to your question, it's an interesting point. We're early in our company's days. We have high aspirations. We want to, have a billion users. That'd be great. But there's a ton of people in crypto every day that will see the trailer that we launched yesterday, just like you did, and be like, oh wow, I'm an expert in crypto and I don't use it.
Mm-hmm.
That translates to the entirety of crypto. If we do that, we'll be a very successful project. But I think when it comes to on mass adoption, we've thought even further with like I said, mentioning the stable coins, but on top of that, also integrating things like magic will be important for us to be able to get rid of seed phrasing entirely, and really create that instant, easy sort of iPod shuffle to the iPod type wallet, right? And we want to be the fun wallet, the sexy wallet. Like if you think about the landscape of wallets, we've kind of carved a niche out as that fun party wallet,
Mm-hmm.
if you will.
Yeah,
Party
no.
in the front, business in the back, or whatever it is. Business in the front, party in the back. We're that wallet.
Yeah, no, that sounds awesome. And one other part to the wallet, not just coins and currencies, but also NFTs and collectibles and things that might be more exciting to share on social. Is there an integration with that kind of crypto assets as well?
Yeah, absolutely. You should be able to send crypto and NFTs throughout the messenger as well. You can mint NFTs live in the application as well, and unlocking more utility for NFTs and digital assets as a whole is something that we'll be able to do within Galaxy. And because we have a social feed and we have that robust feed ecosystem around the wallet, there's a lot of different ways you can actually unlock that utility because we have a whole social experience attached to the wallet
Mm-hmm.
in a way that a lot of people with NFTs right now, they just have their NFTs sitting in their bank account.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's very difficult to do much with. And so I think one thing to really summarize it is that there are, two different types of wallets. Every wallet created up until now is a wallet that you take with yourself. You take it wherever you go. The beauty of Web3 is that you can take your assets with you, and that's amazing. But Galaxy is the first Web3 wallet where you can do that, and it's a wallet that might take you places, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's a difference from how you might think about Galaxy. You might stumble upon the craziest thing in a rabbit hole of wherever in a sub community, and then you might actually be like, oh, that's a cool NFT. I want to buy that. And your
Mm-hmm.
wallet's with you, right? But you wouldn't have been able to discover that if you didn't have that robust social feed and experience wrapped around the power of a non-custodial wallet. And so our job is to really showcase, what you can really do in such an environment.
Mm-hmm. Very cool. And one thing that I love about this messenger is that when you can send crypto over DM, it opens the doors to realizing people can actually capitalize on their social media, especially with now independent content creators, more people realizing that they can make extra income or their main income from social or just being an independent artist. And I feel like being able to tip somebody for dinner on Messenger is great, but having that as your primary income or offering services through social and being like, hey, this is the invoice, but just send me it into your Calaxy wallet, I feel like it opens the doors for just like an entire business as an independent person.
Yeah, no, absolutely. That's our goal. Our goal is to enable people in all different types of ways. And the beauty of a peer-to-peer network is that it's the most efficient way to transfer value, whatever that might mean, between two different parties. And Galaxy is an extension of that. We want to be the easiest way for anybody to transmit value, whether it's financially, experientially, socially, whatever it might be. We're the peer-to-peer network that's activated, and has personality and has flavor. It's not just a crazy old blockchain anymore. It's a blockchain that feels revitalized, and exciting and fun and fast. And so for us, our job is to try and create products that really get the people excited and, obviously give people the tools to be able to do, what digital assets were made for, which is obviously allowing them to own what it is that they partake in, and as well as creating a much more free and liberal world or liberated world.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's
financially free and liberated world. I don't know if I can control anything about geopolitics yet, but our job is to try and make the world a more financially free and liberated world.
that's awesome. And one nice thing about normally sending crypto is that there's less fees from other intermediaries, so that you actually get more bang for your buck. If I'm going to send you $20 and it's over PayPal, then all of a sudden you're getting $15 or something less. I'm guessing that not just from crypto, but hopefully from the Calaxy system itself is efficient in sending tips to or money to friends.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's the by far the best way to transmit value. And it allows you to do a lot of things very quickly in a way that other people may not be able to, just because when you get into the traditional banking system, it's a lot more bureaucratic. There's a lot more license. There's a lot of things that you have to do to be able to handle money. But the beauty of crypto is that we don't handle any money at all. Everything is non-custodial. So when you have a non-custodial wallet, you can do a lot of cool things out of the box.
Mm-hmm. No, that's great. And so Calaxy, they're not, the self-custodial part is that it's your money and it's transferred to somebody else, and you guys aren't a banking intermediary. You're just the social platform.
Yep, correct. We're just a UI, an
Amazing,
interface.
amazing. And what what else can you guys do to, it's great to have this, but I feel like there is still there's people that want it, and there's people that they don't know they want it yet, and there's people that are still stuck in Facebook and Twitter, and they don't really realize the
Yeah.
potential of Web3 social media and owning your own assets. How do we make that tipping point happen so that people understand that the value that they're really getting, and more people flood into
Yeah.
future socials?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the goal of any MVP product, is to get to a certain level of critical mass to then therefore launch off of. I don't think
Mm-hmm.
we're quite there yet. Early days for us, but I think, as you start to capture and onboard more groups within the world of Web3, we're looking to add cross-chain support so that we can add,
Mm-hmm.
all of the amazing communities outside of, even Hedera, to the ecosystem so that they can enjoy the benefits of what Calaxy is offering. And I think, it's a slow burn, but once you get to critical mass, it's pretty easy to grow, because you have that consistent user base that's coming back, and they're bringing their friends on and so forth, and you're able to sort of build off of that momentum. And so, I do. We've been building for quite some time,
Mm-hmm.
and so people do have some high standards for us, and we hold even higher standards for ourselves. But I think the beauty of it is that we have a hefty roadmap to get through. We are just 30-40% deployed in terms of all the cool things that Calaxy could in theory do. And so, our job is to continually get down that roadmap and continue to support different types of user journeys, and honestly just continue to solve more problems. That's the
Mm-hmm.
most important thing, is if you solve life problems, people will come. And so there definitely is an awareness thing too. So obviously, time will work on that. But, our job is, we aim to be a project that is about substance, and really solving real world issues, versus being a project that's just focused purely on just gaining the most users possible, just
Mm-hmm.
because those projects usually have a harder time being sustainable over time.
Mm. Yeah, no, I agree. Quality over quantity. And with these social platforms, even Facebook and Twitter, there was a core group of the early users, and they reaped the benefits later on. But for a long time, it was just college students, and then all of a sudden, there's this huge parabolic curve up that grows as the product gets
Correct.
flushed out. So I have been using the platform, and as an early user, I've secured a good username, so I'm excited for that. And I have a feeling that based on this update that just came out today and this week about the crypto messenger, that is like a groundbreaking update that no other social media platforms, Web 2 or 3, have perfected. So I think that's going to be a huge amplification of value
Yeah.
for the users on there. So thank you guys for doing that.
Yeah. For sure. No, we appreciate it. We got some more stuff up our sleeves, but no, we appreciate it, and we love building products for the community. So everything we do, it's got to solve a hardcore problem.
Amazing. And for the people who don't have a Calaxy account yet and they want to secure a username, from what I understand, it's not on the app stores. It is a web application.
Correct. Yeah, the easiest way to install Calaxy is just go to Calaxy.com. We support both Android and iOS. All you got to do is add it to your home screen. You can follow the prompts at the bottom. We're super excited. This allows us to update instantaneously. No user will ever be running a dated version of Calaxy on their phone. It automatically is updated at all times because you're accessing a web page. It makes it easy for us to build quite easily across different platforms just because you're maintaining one code base. It's on web. You don't have to build for Android. You don't have to build for iOS. So it really is an efficient way to ship an MVP, a high quality MVP, and really iterate and get to that sort of product market fit moment where you can then therefore go build out the applications or whatever it is that you aim to build. Should you want to go down that route, but for us in our early days, the MVP approach, it made a lot of sense to do this web approach, so that as many users as possible could get their hands on it, and we can get the biggest sample size of how to refine the product.
Very cool. Well, thank you so much for taking the time, Solo. I will put the link to the Calaxy website and the app platform in the show notes below. Appreciate you releasing this new function of crypto through Messenger. I think it's going to be revolutionary. We'll see what happens as social grows and the wallets more become a seamless interaction with social. It looks like Calaxy is leading the way for that. So let's definitely follow up in the near future.
Awesome. Thank you so much for having me.